in. I love to give moments of grace as people are joining in. Welcome, welcome. I see some familiar names. I want to invite you guys to go ahead and jump into the chat and give me or give us your name, your business name, and what's your favorite season. Now, if you're a person that lives in the part of Texas and usually in Texas like I do, yeah, you get every season in one day. It's awesome. But if you have a favorite season, feel free to drop that in the chat. Let's start getting to know each other. I'm going to give about 4 minutes of grace. We'll start at 7:05. You never know where you might meet your next opportunity. So jump in the chat and say hello. I will go first. So hard to type. What is my favorite season? All right. I said I love to give everybody a few moments of grace. I also hope you're having an excellent day. Forgive my jumblings on the slide. I kept looking at it going, something's missing, something missing. And then I was like, yeah, we got to do our intro. Hopefully everybody can hear me. While you guys are doing that, I'm actually going to do something kind of different today. Well, I think I am. Maybe I'm not. Let's see. Hmm. I might have to stop sharing for that. Give me 1 second. Yep. To do. I'm trying to do a new thing today, guys. So this will be interesting. Hmm. All good. And if you're just getting in, please, by all means, introduce yourself in the chat with your name, your business name, and your favorite season. You're trying to get some things going in here. All right, for those of you that have note takers active, I think they're still recording. Yes, they are. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Good. Okay. Awesome. Okay. Hey, Kelly Johnson. Good to see you. Sadiria's in the house. Hey, Jada West. Did I miss somebody? Hey, all right. Yeah, sometimes we do a new thing, I tell you, and it's like, okay, about that. Let me get on camera because some of y'all, I never get to be seen anymore. It's like either I'm on camera and I'm not, and you guys are not around, or either you guys are around and I'm not on camera. So let me give you my official hey. How you doing? I thought tonight was a great night for polka dot glasses, so we're doing that. I want to say special hello to our team, one of our program designers, Norm Nixon. Don't. I'm not going to force you guys to be on camera. That's not what I'm going to do. I'm just saying hello and all the goodness. So don't worry about that. Let's see, 7:05. Yeah, almost. One of the things, I know that we do a lot of stuff in the evening, and so, I feel like for those of you who make ravenous, dare I say, obscene amounts of content, sometimes it's good to just not be on camera. I get that part, but I made face for you guys and brows for you guys and lips for you guys, so you're gonna have this face. You're gonna get face. Face is coming in hot. All right, guys. So let me check because the last time I did this, I didn't check the top of the list. So, I'm gonna bother one of my faves to be my co-host. Thank you. The view is going to go away. Jada and Sadiri, I'm making you guys co-hosts. So if people come in and I'm in mid-sentence, you can let them in because that has happened. And I'm like, about that. All right, so I'm ready to get started. If you're ready to get started, just put ready in the comments. You know who I am. My name is Stephanie D. McKenzie. I'm a fractional brand and marketing leader, which means I can come into your business and be your chief marketing officer, your chief brand officer, your chief growth officer, and sometimes even your chief learning officer, which kind of brings us to what we're going to be talking about tonight. I love it. I love it. So let me get shared up, if I will. Let's see. Let's see if we can get everything sharing. We're hoping we're getting everything sharing. Let's see. Uh, let's see. Now that's interesting. Every time. Oh, okay. Okay. Let me see if this will work. To share my screen. Let me see. And then I can just change the window. Hopefully. Yeah. Got it. Perfect. So you should be seeing the screen that I'm showing you with the fine guy wearing the Stephanie jacket. Hopefully that's what you guys are seeing. If you are, drop me an emoji. If you're not, tell me no, no, no. No, no, no. That's not what we're saying. What are you guys saying? Let me know. Emojis is a yes. No, no, no is a that's not what we're looking at, Steph. I just need to check since we're doing new things. Okay, got an emoji from Kelly. I'm ready to rock. All right. Now we're doing a new thing, and that new thing is I'm going to live stream this over on YouTube as well, just for kicks and giggles and all of those things. So I'm going to check that out really quickly to see what's happening over there. And we're not going to do this all the time. I'm just experimenting. This is a season where we can experiment. So if you're experimenting, I'm going to highly recommend, try something new. Why not? Okay. Well, it says I'm live. Okay, it says it's going to start. Okay, all righty. So we'll see. But you guys are here, and so you get to engage, and we get to have a good time. Take all the notes that you can. Come up with all of the questions that you can. I'm going to leave plenty of time for Q&A. I don't think I finished my introduction. One of our program designers is here, Nixon. Say hi in the chat. He's actually the designer for the course on March 25th, which is going to be turning your services into products. So doing an amazing job. And with that, let's hold on real quick. I hear weird sounds. Give me 1 second, guys. One whole second. You have a furry one in the house. It's like having a child. Dang, dang. What you doing? Come in here with me. Come on. Stay with mama. Oh, you were in your room? You can go lay down. You want to go in your room? You can go in your room. All right. So we're here. And let's go. All right. So our agenda tonight, it looks really short, but I feel like I have a lot that I need to say, right? So we're going to talk about what is learning, according to Stephanie, how to leverage it, how not to, and how to. We're going to talk about what something I call the free course discourse. Warning, it's a little bit of a rant. We're going to talk about something I call the PEP, which some of you have already heard me teach on way too many times. We're going to workshop through a few things because duh. And then we're going to have some Q&A. That being said, that's what I'm here to do. Hi, I'm Stephanie. What are your intentions? What do you want to learn tonight? Feel free to drop that in the chat so we can absolutely take stock and make sure that we meet and hopefully exceed your expectations for the information that you desire. If at any point you need to tap out, that's fine. Thank you for being here. If you want additional information, always go to stephaniedmckenzie.com or thecollegeofempowerment.com as well. So I'd love to see your intentions in the chat. Let me jump over there. Cool. Awesome. Hey, y'all. Yeah, interesting. I saw that too. It said it would start at 7:08 over on YouTube. It hasn't started yet. So That may not be the move. And again, these are experiments, and sometimes you only know if you try. So we'll just note that in our little data book. So what are your intentions? What do you want to leave here? Well, and if you have no intentions, you can say, you know what, I'm just here. Okay. Sideria says the most effective way for me to move into more learning experiences. Okay, great. I think I can handle that. I'm ready to learn if there's a step that I've missed. I doubt it. Shout out to Jada West, y'all. She's the leader of the Unshy, Getting Unshy movement. Get into her. Get into her. Jada, don't forget to drop your URLs. Everybody drop your URLs so you can get to know each other. I'm always about that multitasking. Hey, Doc. Doc's here to listen and learn. I love it. Heavy on the learn. Got it. Kelly says, always thankful for learning opportunities. Absolutely. I did an article today on LinkedIn over on the COE page, tying into JFK Jr. and ultimately why George fails. I'm really on this Kennedy kick because I am a Kennedy aficionado. I didn't just become one. And one thing I had heard is that he took a course at the Learning Annex on how to run a magazine before he launched George. And I'm like, okay, all right. So, of course, you can run a global media publication with 3 hours of training at the Learning Annex. Yes, of course you can. All righty. So I'm loving the intentions. Thank you. If for some reason we get to the end of this and you haven't gotten what you need, that's what Q&A is for. So fire away. Let's get into it. What is learning? Okay, this is learning according to Stephanie. Learning equals valuable time, tools, and tactics that are shared with an audience with the intention of empowering them. Now, I could say empowering them to act, and I could say all of these things, but at its core, I feel like learning is an empowering act. It's saying, okay, this is something I need to know, and it's taking in new data, and it's unlearning as much as it is learning, and it's shifting thought processes, and it's bringing new information, or even maybe not new information, but a remembrance of previous information into their sphere. But the emphasis, and we'll get into this in a minute, notice I didn't just say time, tools, or tactics. I said valuable times, tools, or tactics that are shared with an audience. Now, when I say an audience, that doesn't mean help people. Let me just be clear about that. I'm talking about your audiences, those you are seeking to serve. That's the most important part, right? I doubt we have any questions on that one, so let's keep going. So I made you a list of time, tools, and tactics because I really feel like oftentimes when we talk about learning, people immediately go class, immediately. And this isn't even an exhaustive list. This is enough for you to say, oh. So when you're giving valuable time, that's live teaching, what I'm doing now, workshops, office hours, AMA, panels, mentoring conversations, that's more in real time. You're speaking in real time. Now, does that apply to like social media, et cetera, et cetera? I personally feel that's more tools and tactics. Yes, it took time to create them, but time is really learning experiences that are facilitated in real time. So in the tools, we have the frameworks, the templates, the worksheets, the models, the systems, all of that. And oftentimes when you have the tools, they then become time, right? But sometimes, and I really want there to be an emphasis on this, sometimes you might just give the tool. It's a worksheet, right? It's a template, right? Everything doesn't need to be templated, but sometimes it's just the tool because you don't have the time. And I think what happens implicitly, and I'm going to talk more about this later, is that people get so sucked into the time. And I don't want you to get sucked into the time. I want you to be very nimble and flexible, if at all possible. Now, if you just really love doing things in real time, okay, great. Like there's more than one way to skin a cat. Always. See, I'm trying to move this. Move. Yeah. I hate it when it does this. I'm trying to move the bar. There we go. Okay, perfect. And then tactics. A lot of times people, and we've talked about this over the years, Jada, I think you might have been in on some of these conversations, because it's like sometimes people will teach you a tactic and it's just one part of a framework. And so sometimes you'll have people that are stringing together tactics, trying to make their own framework. And I'm like, maybe not try to circumvent the entire piece, okay? But it does happen. Like Jada can teach you, Jada has multiple videos. Jada, I'm going to use you. Jada has multiple videos on creative styles. So you could look at one video on creative styles, that's a tactic, right? That's a part of a tool, because the totality is looking at all the creative styles and seeing how they align or don't align with you. But ultimately, the pinnacle of this is getting on her schedule and having one-to-one time in the form of a chat, in the form of an AMA, in the form of, if she's live, if she's doing a live teaching. Do you understand? And so it's almost like a value proposition if you start from the bottom and go up, in terms of tactics. Okay, these are touches. Tools, they become a larger system. Time is when you're taking what you have and you're saying, here you go, I'm going to serve you. Y'all let me know if that made sense. It's like, Stephanie, you're crazy. Possibly. Okay, cool. And since I know what a lot of you do, don't be surprised if you get called out. Okay, great. But how do you leverage it? And I'm a huge proponent of leverage, right? Huge proponent. And I think before we can talk about how to leverage it, we need to talk about how not to leverage it. Because I think what happens implicitly, especially if you haven't decided that your value proposition within is valuable, you begin to believe that you're giving information for validation. Let me say that again. If you haven't decided that the value proposition within, remember, value propositions start within. They don't start without. I don't care how good the strategist is, right? If you were in Founder Mind, you would know that we talk about a fourfold action framework, which includes the pragmatic, the strategic, the energetic, and the spiritual. I believe you need all of those things. Wrote a whole paper about it, got it published. Yay, me. But what I understand implicitly is that there are a lot of founders and leaders who haven't developed, dare I say, the arrogance, the confidence, because I really don't believe in arrogance. That's actually what confidence sounds like to the insecure, but I digress. They haven't developed the confidence to say, you know what, I know this thing. I know that this thing is valuable. And when I put it out into the world, I should assess it as valuable and people should buy it. Or there should be a system in place that allows people to buy it. So again, the valuable part of the definition of learning is so key, because if you don't understand that what you're giving in terms of time, tools, and tactics is valuable, you will trade information for validation, and then you will look up and be discouraged. That's not what we're doing here. We're saying implicitly, put it in the chat, my information is valuable. And so now you can move into setting the intention for what this information does when you disseminate it. And it's not always going to bring you back, 8 figures in 10 seconds. Like, it's not going to do that. But you get to have an intention of some semblance of a call to action. And if there is a call to action, be it covert or overt, right? Overt being, call me not, I'm kidding. Overt being, sorry, I watched the Miss Cleo documentary, did a video on that too. Check out my YouTube. Anyway, but, a covert call to action is, very subtly, if this resonated with you, let me know. It's very subtle. Sometimes you may not even say anything. But overt is going to be, check out the link in my bio, comment this. And if you have systems set up that will allow you to automate responses That's to your benefit as well. But some people don't have any systems as it relates to their learnings because they are knee deep in what I call the free course discourse. Y'all let me know if I need to pause on that. That felt like I just waterboarded you. Y'all know I do that. Yes, your info is valuable. Whoop, whoop. And knowing that is key. And it's not from a place of, oh my God, I'm the best in the world. Hey, you might be. Somebody got to be. I remember at one point in time, I look at actors and I look at athletes and people who get paid to be who they are, right? And there's a reason why Denzel Washington gets millions of dollars per a picture because there is not another Denzel Washington. There is not another Sandra Bullock. There is not another, there was not another Michael Jordan. There is not another LeBron James. And so at some point, I need those of you who are here and possibly attached to people who haven't figured this out yet to figure out what am I giving that you can't get anywhere else? And operate in that space. This is why I've pressed you for years. Stop being generic, stop being generic, stop being generic, stop being generic. Dig in, dig in. Who are you speaking to? What can they get from you that they can't get from anybody else? Don't be a nail salon. Don't be a nail salon. Don't be a nail salon. And what I mean by that is, truthfully, those of us that have nails and you might like a particular salon, okay, fine. But if something happens, you're not going to cry in a corner because there's 20 other nail salons that you can go to. And because nobody's taking the time to differentiate themselves by way of service versus end product, like I keep trying to figure out why the nail salon people think posting photos of the final design is going to get them more business when really all I'm going to do is screenshot that bad boy and take it to my nail tech. Not winning. But if you had the forethought to create a process or a product that we can only get from you, change the game instantly. Tell your nail friends. All right. So in that, the how not to leverage is not understanding that what you're giving is valuable, not and no intention set behind what you're doing, either to get an email to increase your following or to get people into a course or like there's got to be an intention because where intention is set, attention is going to go. And then you have no systems in place that really process. And I know that some of you say, well, I don't have that many people responding yet. But if you did, if your responses to something some offer you're putting out triple tonight, what system do you have in place? Are you going to go through all those comments and say, here you go, 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 here you go? Or are you going to go find a system, maybe like ManyChat or something else? ManyChat is can be problematic, but there are a few others. Are you going to find a system that's going to reply or automate the replies in a way that makes sense to you? It doesn't have to be ManyChat, but you understand what I'm saying. So then we get into, and again, I'm going to keep this short. So I could go really deeply into that. I'm not going to do it. How to find the value. All right. Well, sometimes we need to look at other things besides what we want to talk about. Because I am a person, this is my confession, is that sometimes I really like to talk about something, but I need to frame it in a way that it will reach more people. I trend spot a lot. That's something that we do that we tell our clients to do, like where you jump on a trend. I jump on trending topics all the time, but I have to make them matter. You know, the Kennedys are trending. Well, I happen to be a Kennedy aficionado. Great. So I know information. Didn't know about that learning annex thing. That was jarring. But anyway, but there's other things you can look at. There's websites like Answer the Public. So if you want to talk about something and you want to teach something, or you have a framework and you want to promote it, looking at what questions people are asking on Answer the Public or looking at what's trending in Google Trends gives you the opportunity to do what we call AYA, answer your audience. But if you don't understand your audiences, then what you're giving in the form of tools and tactics and time may not align. Or, and I know some of us have had this experience, and sometimes we still have this experience because we just don't nail the platform. We stay talking to the same, bad English, but good point. We stay talking to the same people every single solitary time. Every time we talk, it's the same 12 people. Yeah, girl. Oh, yeah, high five. I would say a tiny intention for you to set for information that you're imparting, right? Valuable time, tools, and tactics that you are sharing is to set the intention that it brings you into the sphere and into the awareness of people who don't know you but need you. Ooh, that's a good one. Ooh. Put me in front of people that don't know me but need me. So they may find me, follow me, and eventually fund me. I'm so silly, y'all. And then set the intention. This is kind of the antithesis of the how not to leverage. What's the ROI? What's the cost for access? Because that's what you're giving. You're giving access to the information. Some of you, it took a lifetime to acquire. Some of you, it took a season of your life to acquire. What's the cost? Is it an email? Is it their time? What's the cost? Is it money? Oh my God. Yeah. Do they need to pay you? Don't recoil against asking for some money, honey. You're cute, but you can't pay for nothing with your good looks. Yeah. And then create your system, whatever that may be. There's so many ways to get that done, even down to, and I've talked about this before in other classes, agentic function in chat. I know everybody's breaking up with chat to go hang out with Claude until Claude does them dirty, then they'll be running right back. But figure out what your system is. Your system could be, you know what, I'm going to hire a VA and they can do all these answers. Or your system might be one of the things that I do is things that I say a lot or responses that I know I'm going to have to post a lot. They're in my phone and they're pinned. That's my system. Yeah, we've got some stuff set up on ManyChat, but I'm kind of mad at ManyChat. So we started working with another platform, and I'm really upset with that one. So I might have to wipe the platforms and start over. But also being very careful with using third-party platforms because sometimes that can jeopardize your account in social. Okay. And listen, let me tell you guys, it's not always about social, but a lot of times because social media is top of funnel, social media is how you start the learning process. That's where a lot of your sharing goes. A lot of times you're taking the tools and the tactics and you're putting them into social media. That's just the truth. That's it. That's all. All right, let me get into the chat really quickly. Make sure I'm not missing. Listen, don't be a nail salon is a word. Put me in front of people who don't know me but need me. Yes, because those who are seeking you, they're seeking you right now. I only show up so those who are seeking me may find me. Period. I've been saying that for years. All right, so we're moving on. Anybody feel waterboarded? Anybody having a moment? Everybody okay? If you're okay, put okay in the comments. Let me know, let me know, let me know. Drop me an emoji so I know that it's real. Okay, we're moving on. Okay. All right, so warning, as evident by the graphic behind it, I'm about to rant. The free course discourse. I believe that there's a lot of people that talk about learning and they talk about, oh, do it. And immediately people, as I said, immediately, people run to a free course method. And I'm like, first of all, it doesn't have to be free. Let's talk that through. Let's talk that through. It doesn't have to be free, but a lot of times we say that. A lead magnet must be free, does it? Could it not just be low ticket? Could it not just be $7, $17, $27, maybe even $37? Now, before you run off and start, putting dollar amounts to things, we want to make sure that there's enough trust there that a transaction makes sense. But if you wanted to sell, I sell things for $7 all the time. I'm completely grateful. I'm completely grateful. Thank you. Thank you for trusting what I'm saying enough to give me $7. You know why? Because whether it's $7, $17, or no dollars, you are now in my ecosystem. You are now being nurtured by our emails. You are now receiving information that sometimes we don't even share with the rest of the world. Like, what I love about doing these classes in particular is that it allows me to communicate with you all, right? And hang out for a little bit and then give you some cool offers if it's something that you need. If you come to one of these classes, you're going to get access to something that I'm not putting out in the ether. Period. And you may not want it, but that's fine. You know it's there. But we don't have to give away a free course in order to start the learning as a lead gen um, machine, if you will. It can start with a worksheet. I remember implicitly, I was talking to one of my stylists, my natural hairstylist. Well, I have two. My younger natural hair stylist. There we go. And she was saying how her business kind of goes down a little bit in the summer because people get braids. So they're not coming in, they got their braids, and a lot of times people believe braids are protective. Can be, but be careful with that. So I was like, well, why not create a braid care worksheet and offer that up for free? Because your clients will get it, and people that aren't your clients will be like, oh, now they're in your ecosystem. So wait, you're telling me that I don't have to teach anything? No, not in that format. Everybody's like time, 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 time. And I'm like, no. Is there a resource that you can create? We have all kinds of resources. We have a branding bingo game that I've given away. We have the ebook I've given away, which was supposed to have a price tag added to it at some point. It hadn't been added yet. So yay! So many different things, right? Some of them are low ticket, some of them are zero ticket. I personally don't think off rip, if you're dealing with people that don't have a relationship with you, you can jump right into, 500 to $1,000 offers. I don't know. Somebody may disagree with me, and that's okay. I just think it would take a lot to massage. That would have to be the landing page of all landing pages. Could it be done? Sure. But when I tell you the landing page of all landing pages, I mean, it is not written by chat. I mean, it has taken the psychology of sales to the brink. It has people salivating to like put their information in, and then you got to deliver. Like, not delivering is not an option. That's just my 22 cents on the matter. I mean, feel free to feel differently. But I think what I want you to take from my little rant is a free course is not inherently the lead magnet of your dreams. Okay? It could be a worksheet. It could be a pre-recorded class. It could be a live stream. It could be a checklist. It could be a coloring book. We just made one of those. All AI generated, by the way. A lot of prompting. A lot of prompting. So I just want to break in your thought processes to say, you don't have to be beholden to this idea that I've got to give away a free course. Do you? My program creation coach, a guy named Dino. Oh my God, I just lost Dino's last name. It just went. Phew. Just Gomez. There we go. Dino Gomez does something called a mini workshop. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. I think it's 27 bucks, maybe. Maybe. It could be a community. The thing about learning, right? You can make the learning as formalized or informal as you want it to be, as long as you have the intention and the systems that support what happens after they learn. After you've shared this valuable time, tool, or tactic, what happens next? If you say, okay, well, Stephanie, I really love doing videos. Okay, great. How do we make those videos valuable to the point where one, the algorithm, and I can't blame everything on the algorithm, but there are some rules, if you will, I use the term lightly, on the various platforms that can help you get, make algo your bestie. Okay, fine. There are some, right? We'll just keep it there because this is not a social media class. Um, but another place is, seeing everything, almost everything is learning, and almost everything that you're sharing has the opportunity to generate that relationship that is going to prove valuable to you. This is why when we used to talk about virality so much, I know Jada's probably like, here she go again. And I'm like, yeah, here I go. People keep saying, I want to go viral. They're like, oh, let's go viral. Let's go viral. I'm like, most people who want to go viral have already gone viral. They just don't know it because they think a video with 10,000 views or 100,000 views or a million views is viral. I have a video right now that's probably sitting at, I think the last check, 200,000. I think it's more than that now. 200,000 views. That video is not viral. I can't even find it. It's so far down in my stuff. It's not pinned at the top of my account on TikTok. Um, it's not viral. Why is it not viral? Well, it's not viral anymore. It was viral when I did it. Virality is about the speed of the views, not the number. Most people have already gone viral. They just don't know it yet. And then my counter question to that is, and you go viral and then what? Exactly. They go viral and then what? You've already gone viral. And then what happened? And what did you go viral for? Oh, you were pointing, you were doing a dance. One of the things Jada does really well is that she can wrestle a trend and beat it into submission with her messaging. She can do that. If she gets bored and she wants to do a dance, then guess what? That dance is going to have information. The text on that dance is going to steer you into her ecosystem. It's not going to be, hey, I'm just pointing and dancing, hey, hey, hey. And that's why I say there has to be a marriage between what you're saying and what you're doing and what you expect other people to say and do after the fact. So, well, let's talk about this really quickly. I want to get into some actionable steps. Let me see what time it is. What time is it? 7:40. Oh, we're making good time. All right. So before we get into this, are there any questions, comments, concerns, anything I can assist you with at the moment before we get into this? Everybody good? Still feel like I'm waterboarding you. Okay, I see a couple of pieces. I see a couple of little notifications. Give me a second. All right. Let me look at the questions. Okay, and we're moving. So actionable steps. There are steps being taken here. All right. So this is what I want you to kind of, I want to kind of workshop through, guys. What do you want your audience to learn from you? Your audiences to learn from you? What do you want them to learn from you? That's a key question for you to answer. Feel free to write it down. We'll definitely have time to discuss in Q&A. Based on what we talked about, how are you sharing? 3, do you have a freebie that you can make a low ticket offer tonight? And then the last question, is your PEP effective? Now you're probably going to say, what's a PEP? And I'm going to say, I'm so glad that you asked. But before we go there, take a look at these questions. Feel free to screenshot them. If anybody wants to share out loud, feel free to unmute yourself and we can have that conversation if you want to just dive into one. But I think number one is, I think, kind of the pinnacle of it all. What do you want your audiences to learn from you? Not do you what do you want to teach, but what do you want them to learn from you? Because remember, our goal in sharing these valuable time, sharing this valuable time tools and tactics is so that they will be empowered, but empowered to do what? Because the beauty of you giving value, right, is that it's going to position you as an authority. And it's going to create a level of endearment to you because you're sharing this information. However, you cannot be cavalier in how you do it. And that's why we're here today. And that's why I can't believe I'm missing a question mark on the question 4, but that's okay. That's why it's important to walk through these things and to think about what you're doing, because I can be honest, I'll speak for myself. I have been in situations where I just kind of started doing stuff. Like, well, whatever. Remember, where intention goes, where intention is set, that's where attention goes. So if I have no intention, the attention is going, oh, okay, well, okay, whatever. And so I feel like this is, walking through these actionable steps literally is your opportunity to say, okay, am I disseminating information that actually makes sense for what I want them to learn? Okay, right now I want my audience to learn how to find that what consistency means for them and work with their creative rhythm. That's awesome. And they need to know that, right? We know that they need to know that because the teachings on consistency are pretty much the popular teaching on consistency are wrong. Oh, I love that. And it creates a bit, I believe, of pressure and anxiety, performance anxiety, especially when somebody is like, oh my God, I've got to post a video every day at noon. Oh my God, I've got to go live every day at 3. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And I'm like, oh, honey, consistency is not about when you show up, it's about how you show up. I want my audience to learn that they don't have to sacrifice and unalive in leadership. Absolutely. I spend too much time online and die. We can't say the dead and the die and the gun word in social media. And so thinking about what you want them to learn and thinking about the value of what you're offering them, then what is it that you want back? That's when we get into the PEP. I want my audience to learn they can lead in their skin and win. Lead in their skin and win. Yes. That's yummy. I want to eat it. That's real talk. And so, the other side of that is, okay, and why do they want that? Because when you marry those two thought processes, I want my audience to learn this, and then I'm going to ask you, well, why do they want it? And when you can marry those two answers together, you've got a winning combination. You know, one of the things Dino had to really get on me about is giving people what they want. So then you can then give them what they need. So the sub question on number one is, what do you want your audience to learn from you, and what do they want? And when you can marry those things, you got dynamite. You go boom, you just blow up. Blow up situation is happening. And then of course the easy questions are like, how are you sharing? And think it through, babe, because remember, we're getting off of, we're taking a note from Stephanie's free course discourse, and we've now decided that we have a low ticket offer that, that could work for us. As of tonight, it was zero. And you could even tell your audience that, you know what, tonight's the last night you can get blah, blah, blah for free. But tomorrow's price is not today's price. And this spins us right into question 4. Is your PEP effective? What is a PEP, Stephanie? I'm so glad you would ask, because I told you in the agenda we're going to talk about it. What is a PEP? Well, those of you who have been around a while, because I talk about it all the time. It's the post-engagement pre-purchase process, right? It was originally conceived for social media, right? But it should work in all places where there is valuable, where you are sharing and disseminating valuable time, tools, and tactics. What happens if you go to the conference that you get selected for? What's the post-engagement pre-purchase process? They've engaged with you and your valuable learning. What's the next step? What do you get? Please don't say I give them a business card. Nobody cares. It's the 21st century. We don't even print them anymore. And Lord knows I used to love a business card, but it's on my phone. So what are you going to do to seize that moment in time when that person has learned from you, found value in, they've reciprocated the ideology that what you're sharing is valuable? What happens next? What happens next? Is it a worksheet? Is it a download? What happens next? Who said that? Okay. I think there needs now you may well on my B2Bs, I still say there might be a pit stop before schedule a call. They want to use content to grow their, yes, absolutely. I love that. That I don't, it depends on your audience. So there's not, I'll always say there's more than one way to skin a cat, right? So is there, I mean, because they may not want to jump right into a call. Is there a pit stop you can create? Is it a white paper? Is it a download? Is it a interview with someone who is a leading authority in your area of expertise? Now, if you're getting booked out solid, with schedule a call, then don't touch it. But if you feel like, dang, okay, so if that's it, then that would be, I feel like that's a better step because it does two things. One, it weeds out the serious and the curious, because you don't want people just hopping on your calendar, because remember, your time is valuable. So that might be a great way to pit stop. One thing I feel like is an unsung superpower is old content. If you made a video back in the day, do you know you could take that video and turn that into a mini course? You could take that video, throw it into TurboScribe or Descript, extract the transcript, and turn that into a white paper. I'm a huge, listen, I can dice up one live about 27 million ways. I'm a repurpose, like obsessed. I take it over to Opus, we make it shorts. I take it over here, TurboScribe, I turn it into text. We take the text, I drop it in chat or Gemini or whomever. Sometimes I've even taken the text and turned it into a course. They get a guide that walks them through the 30-day consistency plan and shows them how to custom. That's really dope. That's different from your book, though, because you have the book too. That's not in the book. This is separate from the book. Okay, that's what I thought. So I mean, again, it's not right or wrong. It's outcomes and consequences, right? Because I don't think there's anybody on here that's not doing this part. You just may not be framing it so that it's actually not a giveaway. Like on Facebook, I figured out that I can offer subscriptions. I really could care less. What I care about is that pinned comment that shows up underneath my post, and I don't have to do it. I set it and forget it. But what did I do? I kept the subscription part because I think Meta wants me to have that. And then I added, this is what I do, and you can learn more about me here. Bam. There's my mini website, more like my link tree, but it's actually a Wix product called Hop. So every time I post something, that comes up. I know. I was like, okay. And see what a lot of people don't know, right? And I want you to get this in your spirit. What a lot of people don't know is that just because they're not flocking, see, they're not flocking to your calendar, they're not flocking to get your download. Remember, when I was selling radio, we our schedules had to have a frequency of 3. This is in the early 2000s. Okay. There are studies that say now with the advent of social media, people need to see something 9 times. So that whole thing in your head about you're posting too much, you're saying too much, you're doing too much, you can't. You really, really can't. Because this really, I really should have maybe called this thought leadership as lead gen, but that's what we're wanting. We're wanting to leverage this learning piece that you're doing appropriately because you're doing it all the time. Some of you need to record your conversations. I've said this before. Record your conversations and extract all the gems. Turn that into a 3-day challenge, automate it with your CRM. Tell people they can sign up. It's free, it's automated. They get the gems that you've dropped in your conversations for 3 days. You come back in and you say, hey, you completed your challenge. Yay! Would you like to talk more about day 1, 2, or 3? Get on my calendar. Like there are so many ways. If you see the main piece is seeing what you're sharing as valuable. If you see it as a service, if you see it as information for validation, then you can't do these things because you're unwilling to put the strategy in place to leverage the learning that you're already giving to the world. Stephanie, you sound hype. I am. Because this is the season. I'm not going to say this is your season. This is the season. Many of you have been in strategic alignment for quite some time, but energetically, not so much. And that's not really your fault, but it is your problem because you've been knocked off of your energetic alignment because life was lifing. But for many of you, you might, not you necessarily that are on here, but you that might see this on the replay, you that might catch this someplace else, If we dice it up and make it a course, or if we actually throw it over to YouTube, which we might, right? Probably will. Um, you hadn't quite aligned with the part of you that had to say, you know what, I'm good at this. I'm good at this. I do good things. I'm great at this. And you should pay me. You can pay me with an email. You can pay me with $7. You can pay me with a whole lot more than $7. Listen, real talk. Been there, been there. And that mindset switch, right, from worker to founder, worker to owner, is real. I talk about it all the time. It's real because if you've been in situations, especially, and I've talked about this before, the manipulation of our melanation. If you've been in situations where it was best for you to keep your head down because that's what you were socialized to do, that's what you were taught to do, and especially there's 90% women here. As women we're taught to do that, then you add the melanin on top of that. Well, shoot, the audacity of you to have a thought. The audacity of you to have a thought about you. So I'm going to get on camera for now. I want to give you guys a free gift for coming out. Feel free to scan the QR code. Show myself a little bit because I want to be able to see you guys for the Q and the A of things. So that's your free gift for coming. Feel free to scan it. Feel free to take a photo of it. All of those things. I definitely want to thank you for seeing value in the time that I have shared with you tonight. And like I said, there's going to be some amazing offers that are going out. We have a preview of Founder Mind this Saturday. Preview is just an opportunity for you to come in at no cost and see what we do and how we hang out and the fun that we have and all of that good stuff. Because we finished our 4 week sprint, now we're into our 8 week biweeklies. You'll get some special offers around brand development. I dropped that package about $8,000. Hey, Papa. And because I wanted to make it more accessible. And then I think there's another offer that you can get your hands on. But if none of that matters to you, then you can still get your free gift for coming. And I'm super, super grateful for having you here. That being said, I'd love to open up the floor for Q&A. Feel free to unmute yourself or raise your hand. Raising your hand is usually easier because there's quite a few of us in here. Um, you're welcome. So by all means, raise your hand or jump in, whatever you want to do. And if you have any questions, I'm happy to bring clarity to that for our last 30 minutes together. Still feel like I waterboarded you. It's Gimme Waterboard. It is. No questions? I'm just that good. Totally kidding. Don't be shy.
I just want to say I have my hand raised, but um thank you for the idea around recording what we're already talking about. Cause I know sometimes for me it like posting feels like but when you said like you're already talking about this stuff. So I started thinking about a conversation from earlier today, and I'm like, that's a post right there. So I appreciate you saying that. That it's not something extra. It's like we're already doing this, we're already having these conversations, and we just need to identify the appropriate tools to either translate it or make it a short or something like that and be able to get it out there.
Mm-hmm. And especially if you're using tools like Answer the Public, or you take a look at Google Trends, or even if you just ask artificial intelligence, what are the questions that this is my target audience, these are my target audiences, what questions would these individuals have or these organizations have that I could aptly answer? And so all of our clients have a list of questions that we call their kind of their AYA list, answer your audience. And if they get stumped or something, you just go answer the question, you know? Well, this is what they would want to know. Cool, make a video. This is what they want to know. Well, you already said it, And so it's really just about putting a bit of structure to it, but not making it laborious because it's so easy to do that. Because I mean, if this was of interest to you, it's because you're already doing the work. You're already doing it. Any questions? I hear the information is great and helpful for the pivot I discovered. Love it, love it, love it.
It's
So
Stephanie.
based on, oh, go ahead. Who was that?
Hey, I don't
Is that
have,
Kelly?
it's not a question, but it's
Oh,
really a comment. Like this could not have come at a better time. Because I am starting to lean back into my gift of doing more live, in person.
mm,
Um, and really did leaning into my teach because my background is teaching and live sessions. So this was perfect to give me really good ideas on how to really start to think about that. So thank you.
my pleasure. When the student is ready, the teacher appears. In polka dot glasses. No. Uh, Okay, a great reminder, expansion of what you've been current. Yay! I'm so glad. And like I said, it doesn't have to be a course, right? That's the one thing. Like I wanted to like dispel, break that myth, break that chain, if you will. It can be anything. You're already doing it. Maybe you reverse engineer it. Maybe you wrote a stellar post, right? That post can now become a worksheet or a checklist or a white paper. The goal ultimately, especially if you're going to leverage the learning against social media, is to get in front of more people that don't know you but need you. I swear I've never said that before. Y'all encourage me and inspire me. You make me want to be better. For real. But that's ultimately the goal because if you keep talking in the echo chamber is like a group of trolls. They don't buy anything. Like I tried to make this one a little short because I felt like, okay, there are going to be some questions. Okay, so tell me this regarding your takeaways and your actionable steps based on what we've discussed and what you learned tonight. What is going to be your action step tomorrow or tonight? What are you going to do with this information? Will there be one?
I think what you said around like putting in going to answer the public and Google Trends and then using AI to identify like what are some questions that my audience would want to know the answers to and starting that. I started um a thing like ask Dr. T and I made up questions. And so
I love
I
that.
think like doing something like that, I have like this obsession like with the Dear Abby and those things. I thought that was just so cool back in the day in the
I
newspapers.
love that. I love it. I
So
absolutely love that.
yeah, so I think that like just keep like continuing to do that. And I think using that list and then thinking about like maybe each day, like at the end of the day, like what did I talk about today? Like I was in class earlier and like what was the conversation that I shared with the people in the group and maybe having like some type of journal or something where at the end of each day I write like a brief something around here was the topic for today. And I think that would help to keep it from feeling like I'm just running behind a moving car. But like I have things that jar my memory, if that makes sense.
I love it. I love it. I love it. That's good. That's good. I'm seeing some amazing. Hey, Camille. Hey, Amanda. I just finally looked at everybody who's here. Y'all don't even know you're in the room with some heavy hitters. Camille knows everything about, are we still talking about the agriculture piece? She has a degree in agricultural things. And so she knows how to take land and leverage it for investments and life insurance, but becoming your own bank. And I think the Tractionista's in the house. I think that was Amanda. Did I see Amanda? Hold on, y'all. The Tractionista's in the house. Tractionista.com. She's taking traction from like this like colloquial buzzword, traction. And because she's a PMP and a Six Sigma, and she got more letters after her name than the alphabet, she understands what it means to really create traction in your business. And she has a free traction audit as well. Yes, check out Camille G. Hicks on Instagram. Everybody, drop your handles, drop your links, because Kelly's here. Kelly, are you still doing the nonprofit outreach piece?
Thank you for
Let me know.
asking. Yes, connecting
Absolutely.
businesses to nonprofits that align with their values and creating community. Absolutely.
Love it. I love it. I love it. See, let me not miss anybody. I'm not trying to miss anybody. Charge it to my head, not my heart. Why won't it show me? He should show me the chat. Oh. Doc, Sideria, yay! Sideria, now I feel like I'm gonna call you out, right? Because you're doing the resets, and I don't know if you've caught her videos, but she teaches you how to restore your nervous system in 30 seconds. And I think that's really important because nervous system restoration is a thing, right? But there's very few people that put the emphasis on in 30 seconds. And I think a lot of times people think, oh my God, I'm going to have to go meditate forever. And that's not the case. There are ways that you can restore your nervous system, and you want to restore your nervous system as a high achieving, high performing, sometimes high functioning, but not really individual. Sadiria, anything you want to share about that?
You hit it on the head. You
Oh, yay
absolutely
me.
did.
Yay me. All right, all right. I think I called out everybody. Doc's here. Let's see. Yeah. So I think I got everybody. I will tell you guys, check out everybody's links. I am super duper excited that you guys were here, that you took the time. If for some reason you say after the fact, because I process in hindsight as well, ooh, I got a question, feel free to reach out to me. I will put I'll put my little mini site in the chat. Yeah. Boom shakalaki. You can see my latest stuff on YouTube. I've been having a really good time over there. I think also I will say this, it's super important to know and to consider where your folks are. I put a lot of time and energy into TikTok, and at some point, it just became diminishing returns. Now my focus is like YouTube and LinkedIn, but also real life. It's not just about social, right? Real life, like real life. Oh no, did I post it badly? Oh, you talking to Tonicia? I think so. Yeah, she's talking to Tonicia. Okay. But I think the thing that's most important in this is is understanding the value of what you're already doing, making sure that you're in spaces where you need to be, where your people are, where your folks is, bad English but good teaching, and then making sure that there's a process in place. I have that little mini site because I got mad at Linktree, and that's a whole thing. But, I have that little mini site, and then I have my large website. And I think, making it easy, part of the PEP, right? The post-engagement pre-purchase process is making it as easy as possible for someone to get what they need. And sometimes sending them to your website, that can be cumbersome for them. They may not know what to do. But if you have like a Linktree or a Sandstore or any of those kind of mini site things, a lot of times that can be a lot easier for people to digest. And definitely shout out to the Tractionista for assisting me in putting mine together. And I talked about this in Founder Mind as well. Sometimes you need the vantage point of someone that doesn't know you but knows you, because she looked at my stuff through the lens of, okay, if I didn't know you. And so that also brought a lot of clarity to what I was doing. And it was definitely a necessary vantage point, because sometimes we can get so bogged down in saying what we know that we said, right? But it may not be landing. And, with different levels in your business life cycle, the message that might have hit may not be hitting no more. Word. Sorry, a little MC Hammer for y'all. Hammer, it ain't hitting. Word. So that being said, it's okay for you to look at this and say, you know what? I want to pare down to this message, or I want to expand on this message, or you know what? And this is something Jada and I have talked about. Collaboration is another unsung superpower. Maybe Dr. Tunisia and Sadiria need to do something together. Right? Yes, ma'am. Hey, Doc.
Is it me? Hello. I was just about to ask you that when you said that. I just heard someone and they were talking about like creating like panels and mini summits to increase like your following. And then you said about collaboration. So I was wondering like your thoughts around that, like getting together with people who may have similar intersections and like let's just get together and have like a panel discussion, invite people to it, like that becomes the lead magnet.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That was something I didn't talk about, but see, this is why Q&A is important. So 2 years ago, I believe now, we did two summits almost back to back. We did a marriage and mating summit, and then we did a men's panel. Now, I always say the friends of my friends, right? So if you were a new artist and you were signed to a new label, they immediately send you out on tour with the anchor of the label. Why? Because they want their friends to become your friends. And that's what happens in a summit, in a panel, in a, mini summit. Now, the reason why I didn't mention it is because it could be a huge undertaking in terms of graphic and promotional assets. But, if you can bulk create in Canva, or you can create a template and make other people put their information in, because that's what we do with program directors over at the COE, that can take some of the load off. But ultimately, the people, this goes back to getting in front of people that don't know you. Because the people that know, I'm just going to say Ann, right? They're going to sign up and they're going to meet you. And the people that know you don't know Ann. So they're going to sign up and meet Ann. So it becomes this very symbiotic convergence of new people everywhere. And with all of our panelists, they got the CSV file of everybody who registered. So they could add that to their list and continue the conversation. And honestly, a good trip around StreamYard, a couple of nice images. Yeah, we had fun until we realized that my computer just wasn't ready. Woo! Thank God for the Hachitachi. Like, whoa, that was a learning experience, because my video card was in obsolescence and I didn't know, because I had only been streaming me. When you have like 4 to 5 people streaming, it was like, oh, I think I can. I think I can. I think I can. But it was fun, right? So, yes, huge proponent of that. Huge proponent. Oh my God, it was trying to end me. I was over here about ready to throw the computer out of the window, but it's okay. We learned what the problem was, and we got a brand new gaming computer that doesn't have those problems. Yay! But yeah, that could be amazing. I've seen people even do virtual swag bags as a marketing, as incentivizing people to sign up. I've seen people even add VIP options where it's free, but if you want to do this after hours or this conversation, yeah, like people they'll make like a bundle, a product bundle, and you can put a class in there, or something that can go digitally to somebody, but it could be a variety of things depending on what your load is. It could be a coupon to go download a book on Amazon, or whatever platform. You know what I'm saying, guys? But yeah, it can definitely be done. If you want to talk through the logistics of it, I'm happy to do that as well. See, Camille doesn't know this, but I'm working on something, and yeah. I already have her in mind, like my sights are set on you, girl. So that being said, I think it's awesome. And that's why I'm always like, hey, tell people what you do and your business and give them your Instagram. And I try to hype everybody up so you know what they do, because there may be an opportunity in this room and you just thought you were coming to learn about learning as lead gen. Look at you. Look at you. And that makes me super duper happy. So by all means, by all means. But we had oodles of speakers because we had 6 different panels, I think. Did we have 6? It felt like it was like 3 panels on one day, 4 panels on the next. It was insane. I lost my mind. Man, we went so hard. You notice I haven't done that again, right? It was a lot, y'all. It was a lot. Oh, it was a lot. We probably will do that now that we've got our program directors in place, Amanda, Katrina, Shara, Janice. We've done some shifting around of our leadership team at the COE. We might do that again, but it was a lot. And then I had people that just didn't show up the day of and didn't even let me know. So I was playing like musical panels and like, oh, can you come over here now? Like it was crazy, but it was fun. It was fun. Y'all gonna make me put on a panel event? Y'all gonna make me put on a summit? Let me know. She says, I think it's time. Oh my God, I can't. Y'all talking about yes. What? Yeah, Hey Doc, I'm coming for you. Just I got my eyes on you. We'll talk about it Saturday. Anyway, any questions, comments, concerns, anything I can address right now, right now, before I put a doggy to bed? Well, absolutely. It's my pleasure. I will tell you guys, March 25th, turning your services into products is going to be really good. Nixon actually lined that out. I'm just going to be the guest speaker, so to speak. And then on April 3rd, Dr. Katrina Mitchum is teaching, Do You Need a Course for Your Business? She's heavy into course creation. She actually has a doctorate in course creation and why certain courses don't land. And she's going to do a midday learning session on the 3rd. All of that is on the COE's calendar page. Feel free to jump in, grab your spot, all of the things. And oh, thank you. As always, it is my pleasure to serve you and support you. So see you on the 25th and maybe on the 3rd. And then I don't know what my next class is going to be. If you have any suggestions for me, please let me know. All right. So with that, I will give you back 11 minutes of your night. If you need me, if I can serve and support you in any way, happy to do so. Check out the link. And otherwise, I'll see you again, hopefully real soon. Bye, loves.